Member for Kamloops North Thompson. Member for Kamloops North Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, the Minister of Tourism, Arts, Culture and Sports does not seem to want to add a very clear answer when we're talking about the $3 billion contingency set aside for FIFA. In fact, her answer is, well, it's for Clean BC initiatives. Well, Clean BC has their own line item for contingencies in the budget, so it can't be for that. She has said it's for emergency response, floods, fires, and other unforeseen events. That has its own general contingencies. And in fact, there's no money in this year's budget in the FIFA line item for contingencies. So unless the minister thinks we're not having fires and floods and unforeseen events this year, that's interesting. However, on page 61, under priority spending, where they only use FIFA as a descriptor for the $1 billion in the budget next year and the $2 billion the following year, the minister doesn't want to shine any light on how much the true cost of FIFA actually is to British Columbians. So that, has a lot of activists talking about these large international sporting events. And I'll quote one. They say, a lot of people were opposed to the idea that we would spend hundreds of millions of tax dollars with no accountability when we're dealing with homelessness crisis, an education crisis, and so many other spending crises right now in British Columbia, end quote. Well, Mr. Speaker, that activist, and I see him smiling, is actually our Premier criticizing the 2010 Olympics, while then he was writing a pamphlet on how for protesters to evade law enforcement. Now that he's in charge, Mr. Speaker, no transparency and won't answer any questions about the FIFA costs, Mr. Speaker. So to the Premier. Has the Premier flip-flopped yet again on another one of his former principles, or will he actually release today the actual costs of FIFA?
Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First the opposition leader misreads the budget and calls a tax cut a tax hike, and now the member opposite fails to understand how contingencies work. The vast majorities of contingencies in budget 2024 are not for FIFA. Just to make it clear, there is not $3 billion for FIFA.
Members.
Most of the contingencies that the members keep referring to, the member referred it in his budget response speech yesterday, $3 billion are going to FIFA. It's inaccurate. That is just wrong. So the contingency money, the contingencies fund, are for caseload pressures. They are for things like emergency. Well, the members should well know caseload pressures includes wildfires, which were substantial last year. We need to ensure that we have money for
Members,
wildfires.
Don't get too excited.
And unforeseen issues.
Members. Members will come to order. Minister will conclude.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And of course, if there is funding that we need for this year for FIFA, it will be used in contingencies, but not $3 billion, for goodness sakes. So we know that this is going to be a world-class event. We know that it has We know that it is going to have the opportunity to generate over $1 billion for the people of the province. It's going to be an exciting event for people right across the province, and we will have the
Members.
Why do they hate soccer? I don't know why they hate soccer. It's a good question. I don't understand it. I mean, people are really excited. People are coming from all over the world to watch these 7 games in Vancouver. It's amazing. It's amazing. Mr. Speaker, we will have the numbers soon. We want to get those numbers right, and we will have those numbers soon.